I married Amy Grant, a singer and songwriter, and the record shows how much I love her. Vince Gill is a famous country artist. He won 22 Grammys and 18 CMAs in his incredible career. Vince Gill has finally spoken at 67, and it changes everything. Some followers are celebrating, some are astonished, and some are wondering why he waited so long to say this. By the conclusion, you'll be astonished, relieved, or see Vince Gill in a new light. Let's begin. The truth about Eagles membership. Vincent Grant Gill was born musical. He felt like the cosmos had predestined him from the minute he picked up that 4-string tenor guitar as a child. He quickly upgraded to a full-size 6-string, since some folks are just destined to play. His parents saw it too. They didn't just give him toy guitars and go. Their son had something special, they knew. They went all out and bought him a Gibson ES 335 at 10. A formidable electric guitar for a brilliant child. Suddenly his musical journey began. Who would have thought that this small-town youngster with a penchant for strings would one day play with one of the greatest rock bands? After Glenn Frey's 2016 death, Vince Gill had one of life's biggest surprises. They said it was gossip, and the truth would never be revealed. Finally speaking up at 67, Vince Gill confirms decades-old allegations. Fans are jubilant, some are devastated, and the music industry may change forever. What did he reveal? What caused his long silence? This story is bigger than imagined, so keep watching. You'd recall how uncertain everything was if you followed the Eagles. As a co-founder, Glenn Frey sang some of their biggest singles and was irreplaceable. Enter Vince Gill, Don Henley said. His decision to join the Eagles wasn't made one morning. It was something bigger, unfolding softly in the background. The band's manager, Irvin Azoff, contacted Vince's management, Larry Fitzgerald, and things started to move. Fun fact, Vince was closer to the band than most people believe. After the Eagles split, he and Glenn Frey shared a manager. All these little puzzle parts seemed to be waiting to fit. Despite his relationship, Vince didn't expect an invitation. It really surprised him. Looking back, he said it's not something you can imagine or want. When the chance arose, he didn't hesitate. As usual, he responded smoothly when questioned. When do we leave? No overthinking, no second-guessing, just excitement. Because let's be honest, if the Eagles ask you to join them, you don't play coy. Yes, grab your guitar and go. However, joining the Eagles requires more than just jamming. Some of rock's most famous tunes, Vince knew. He refused to step in and fix anything. To honor the legacy, he carefully chose songs from their collection that fit his style. He didn't pick easy ones. He performed Lion Eyes, New Kid in Town, Take It to the Limit, and Tequila Sunrise, beloved by millions. He got it. These weren't tunes he knew. Music encapsulated memories, moments, and lifetimes. He said he couldn't imagine not hearing those songs, the classic lines, the iconic backgrounds, and everything that made those records so fantastic. He played them note for note, according to the original arrangements, since he didn't want to take away what made them exceptional, the Don Henley dynamic. This wasn't simply about finding a singer-guitarist. Chemistry must be right. Luckily, Vince and Henley had a musical relationship before the Eagles were conceived. They trusted each other from Henley's Cass County album. When asked why the Eagles signed a country guy, Henley had the right response. Because he's capable of banding. Vince valued that. He joined the Eagles not to make headlines or emulate Glenn Frey. He wanted to contribute, play music, and respect what was already there. He expressed it best. I don't need attention. I needn't be famous. He suited perfectly because of his attitude. He debuted with the band at Dodger Stadium in 2017. Talk about an emotional moment. He had company. Deacon Frey, Glenn's son, was there with him, stepping into his father's painful and magnificent footsteps. The weight was noticeable. Not simply another concert. Something greater reflected the band going forward while honoring their past. Vince grasped that. This wasn't about him, he understood. Keep these tunes alive as long as possible. Today, Vince is on the Eagles' farewell tour, which ends in 2025. You go from playing guitar as a kid to playing Take It to the Limit, with the Eagles in front of thousands. Music alone can tell that narrative. Vince Gill has always let music speak. For the first time in years, he's addressing the rumors that have plagued him. He's 67 and confirming what many thought. But no one was ready. Country music fans are startled, and the business may never view him the same way again. Stay tuned. This knowledge changes everything. Vince Gill and Amy Grant's love story is too wonderful to make up. The 1993 Christmas filming with Vince Gill in Tulsa, Oklahoma started it all. This Christmas special was when their paths crossed in the most wonderful, unexpected way. Amy, a great star, guest starred. Can you imagine? Two amazing musicians together. There was electricity from the moment they met. Vince vividly recalls that occasion. Vince, being the lovely man he is, spotted Amy's face furrowed in stress or worry when she entered the rehearsal room. He did what? Walk up to her, he murmured. Unknit that brow. It'll be okay. Smooth, huh? But truly that moment had something. You can visualize. Vince, drawn to her enthusiasm, noticed something more that set her apart. That smile. Music brought them closer. That was glue. They appeared at 3 Christmas gatherings that year. Amy then invited Vince to record House of Love, their debut duet. How unique is that? They collaborated musically, and that duet started something bigger. Despite this spark, they stayed married. Vince was married to country performer Janice Oliver, and Amy to Christian artist Gary Chapman. They weren't rushing. Even though their chemistry was obvious, they kept their promises. Amy later said, "We all felt the electricity. You felt it, right?" Their attraction was undeniable. Although not everyone around them perceived it that way, they were attempting to keep things respectful and manage the situation with honesty. Vince and Amy struggled from 1993 to 1999. Amy calls them lengthy years, for good reason. Their attraction and connection confused everything. It must have been hard though, right? Not being able to act on something so real, yet knowing they should respect their bounds. However, the world saw things differently. Most people thought the worst of them, and they faced much censure. Vince reflected, "It was hard since most people assumed the worst of us, which was unfair and wrong. Isn't that normal? People draw inferences without understanding. But that didn't bother them. Even as their attraction grew, they preserved their integrity. Like life, it progressed slowly but still gradually. Amy was shocked by Vince's 1997 divorce. She never expected that so quickly, which undoubtedly made everything more real. After 17 years, Amy's marriage to Gary terminated in 1999. She had always described it as problematic. It was hard for her, but it allowed her and Vince to be together without walls. After her divorce, Amy quickly confirmed her relationship with Vince. After 4 months, they made it official and things fell into place. In March 2000, they married in a stunning outdoor wedding near Nashville. They had 100 guests to their small wedding, and their children attended. They didn't insist. They let it happen, and it worked. The transformation of Vince and Amy's 1993 Christmas special into a lifelong partnership is stunning. It proves that the best things in life arrive when you least expect them, and that you must be patient and let life happen. When the time is right, everything comes into place. Vince Gill is one of the most acclaimed artists, but rumors still spread. After years of speculation, he's finally speaking out at 67. Reaction has been overwhelming. Some are astonished, some vindicated, and some have more questions than answers. The real story? Follow us to learn. Helping Amy with health issues? Vince Gill and Amy Grant's relationship has had its ups and downs, but their health struggles tested it the most. It began in 2020, and life throws curveballs hard. It throws them hard. Vince's doctor advised Amy, get checked out at a routine exam, likely out of caution. Who would have imagined a simple suggestion would change their life? That's what occurred. Amy was tested and diagnosed with PAPVR, a rare congenital heart condition. Does that sound complicated? Because it is. Only 1 in 143 individuals have it. And the scariest part? She lived with it unknowingly her whole life. Imagine receiving such unexpected news. It went beyond possibly needing medication. The doctor warned her that untreated conditions might be grave. Can you imagine hearing that? Amy, always tough, handled it admirably, but Vince's heart surely plummeted. Amy had open heart surgery in June 2020 during a pandemic when hospitals were unpopular. Pause and think about that. Open heart surgery. That's not a small surgery you recover from in a week. It was serious. The surgery was already difficult, but COVID made it 10 times harder. Vince, a loving husband, wanted to be with her, but hospital constraints limited his visits. Can you fathom remaining at home while your wife goes through something so intense and not being present for her? She allowed him to visit her room after what must have felt like his longest, most tense wait. One upside to the epidemic was that it cleared his performance schedule so he could just be with Amy, exactly where he stayed. Life, being unpredictable, decided it wasn't done with them just when they thought they could breathe easier. In July 2022, another crisis struck suddenly. Amy was biking near a golf course on a tranquil day when she hit a pothole and flew. Most of us have fallen off bikes, but this wasn't a minor scrape and get up. Even though she was wearing a helmet, the impact caused a significant brain injury. Vince immediately canceled 3 gigs when she was brought to the hospital. Being there for Amy was everything. Recovery wasn't easy. Her memory was impaired, and experts anticipated a 12 to 18-month brain recovery. Can you imagine? Do you remember things differently? Having trouble remembering a talk. She also had throat and shoulder surgery to eliminate cysts. One thing after another. Vince was always on her side. She relied on him in the storm. He reminded her that things happen every day and to take each day as it comes. Love you, we're here. Sometimes, just those words kept her going. She subsequently stated that having him say it daily made it tolerable. Knowing someone is always there for you makes all the difference when life throws you a curveball. Vince Gill has captivated listeners with his beautiful voice and poignant lyrics for decades. Behind the scenes, rumors say otherwise. Fans are stunned when he addresses the rumors at 67. What was he hiding for years? Why did he confess now? Stay because his confession affects everything. Evolution of music at 67. After all these years, Vince Gill is constantly changing, which is amazing. Most musicians can only dream of such a career. After collecting 22 Grammys and becoming a country music legend, you'd think he'd relax and enjoy the ride, right? No, he's still pushing himself, improving, and finding new methods to make meaningful music. Ask him, and he'll say he's writing his best songs ever. Not the most popular or radio played, but the most meaningful. Doesn't music actually mean that? He's not following trends or copying achievements. He creates honestly. Vince writes songs differently now than when he was younger. He doesn't judge or blame. He wants to observe. He wants to document life's events without judging anyone. That's a major change from typical hit songwriting, right? Most people follow a formula, but Vince, he knows better. He's played long enough to know that songwriting isn't about pushing content. Sitting with an idea and breathing is key. He's warned that writing without an idea will stall. That kind of wisdom is only gained via experience. Speaking of experience, consider his collaborations. He's always worked well with others, but he's gotten more selective. It's about working with young, intriguing people, not simply huge names. He's tried country, pop, rock, and traditional country with Kelly Clarkson, the Eagles, and up-and-coming musicians. The best part? Credit doesn't matter to him. He mentioned before,